The provincial government is looking at domestic violence through a different lens. It is pulling together a new 3-year plan looking at ways to address the issue. The initiative is getting support from those who deal with the problem firsthand.
Representatives from the local Elizabeth Fry Society took part in a multidisciplinary meeting looking into domestic violence. The aim is to deal with prevention rather than response.
They have added public education and prevention work to it. It's a really key piece that's missing right now. We don't have any program that occurs in every single school, for example, to shift attitudes. There is very little work that is done with male abusers after the fact.
According to Government of BC stats, more than 80% of domestic violence victims are women. Nearly 4 times as many women were killed by their current or former spouse than men. 100,000 BC women were victims of spousal violence between 1999 and 2004, and 4 out of 10 victims reported that their children witnessed the abuse. Following the meeting with service agencies last fall, the provincial government is now looking for the public's input on a 3-year plan.
The next step is actually to talk to people about what are the kinds of things we need to do to improve public awareness, to provide supports and services for victims. It's a very emotional, complicated issue, and frankly, we need to listen to people who are experts, but also hear from the public about how we can do a better job of supporting those families.
Shirley Bond says while the preventative nature of this plan is unique, there are other unusual aspects to it as well.
The other interesting discussion that took place at the forum that we attended was the differing needs of varying cultural or religious groups, their reluctance often to contact support services. Some of them simply don't know the supports that exist in Canada if they are new. There is also a concern for Aboriginal families and the challenges that they have accessing the system.
However, Elizabeth Fry feels the plan needs to cover a longer period than 3 years. There's concern as well that the online survey may not adequately identify the issues.
But I think the depth and breadth of response, making sure that the key people or key folks cross-sectorial are being able to respond, needs to really happen in some of those in-person consultations that I think we can't lose sight of. So I'm hoping that this won't replace the need for the community consultations.
Survey submissions will be accepted until February 18th. That information will become part of the 3-year plan to be released this summer. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.